Hey, what's up everybody? So when it comes to starting a healthy, beautiful summer garden, I always promote start from seed, start from seed. Seed growing and seed sowing is the best way. It's more economical, there's more varieties available, and it's actually really easy and a lot of fun. And so from all the other benefits, just do it because you can enjoy it. So we've done just that here. We do a lot of our seed starting indoors. So of course we get our peppers and our tomatoes started first. They take the longest to grow, at least for us. And so we've got a little setup inside the classroom here. I'm going to show you in today's video our different stations and areas where we kind of have them dispersed into the classroom, because you basically got to keep them warm, you got to keep them watered, get plenty of air on them, and have plenty of light. If you take any of those away, they're usually not going to do too great. So let's take a look at how we grow ours indoors for success. As you can see, we've got our seedlings started here. We've actually even got some more started up in some 72 trays, so a little 72 cells in there, I believe. And so we got some peppers coming up in there, but you can see I got some Anaheim peppers doing well. And so what this is right here is we do have the grow lights. And what's great about this system is it's actually our aquaponics system. And usually we'll have plants planted down in the gravel, just as you can see above. But for a few weeks out of the year, we pull those plants out and we let these ones just rest on top. Of course, I don't let the dirt get down into here because that wouldn't be good. So we have the trays to catch all of that. So it's actually just a temporary system for us. Some folks, you can have racks and shelving, and we do actually have some of that, which I'll show you in a moment. But for us, we just needed as much space to grow these seedlings as possible. We're growing a ton this year. Just a lot of, you can see these, I'm sure you know what these are, right? So these are tomato seedlings, and they're doing really well. Luckily for us, we get plenty of light. It's all on a timer. And so you don't want to just have light, just blasting your plants forever and always. They need a little rest period. You can extend it a bit longer than the normal day length to get a little bit more out of them. But having some rest is good as well, is also good. Now, we haven't fertilized them too heavily. We give them a little bit of organic fertilizer, but very light dose, especially early on. But now that they're getting a little bigger and a little more established, we can actually feed these a little bit more. And you can see not all seedlings are equal. Look at this little guy in there hiding out. Some of them take a little longer to get going, and some seeds are just more healthy than others. And that's why it's kind of nice to grow more than you need. Whether you can give them away, for us, we're going to give some away, we'll sell some, and then we'll use it out in our garden. But when it comes to have the health and vigor of your plant, you'll see some like this, and they'll get caught up or whatever. There's a little sun gold there. But what's nice is growing more allows you to always pick the healthiest, most just vibrant plant that you can find, as opposed to just planting whatever one you have your access to. But ooh, look at these shishito peppers. So for us, getting that light on there, this is the correct distance for these. Now once these ones get a little bit closer to this light up here, it's probably gonna be time to take them outdoors, which is actually close, because we have a little greenhouse outside that's an unheated greenhouse, but for us it's just still a little too chilly out there for the type of greenhouse that we have. But you can see the aquaponics system does fine. It's a good temporary solution. So these lights right here, I think, are from GE. And they actually donated these lights to us, which is incredible because they were so expensive. They're like $800 per light. And they gave us 4 of them a couple years back. So, I mean, I got to give credit where credit's due. But having lights is really helpful. Of course, in other videos you've seen, I used the heat mat. You can see some beans that we've started right here. We've got some yellow beans and some purple beans coming up. And what's great about these is they sprout so quick. It wasn't even a week ago. I think it was a week ago today that I had some students, and it was their first time ever gardening and growing, and they planted some beans. And I cannot wait to show these to those students, because they'll probably blow their minds. They'll be like, what? We just planted those. And so here's another situation where we've got an aquaponics system, and you can see this is what it's really designed for up here, is for growing lettuce and greens. And oh, those look so good. I'm gonna have to come up here and thin them out just a little bit. But the water comes up, floods the gravel bed, moves across, and then comes down a drain into the next gravel bed. So we pull the lettuce out of here. You can see that the gravel's still there just fine. We'll replant it soon enough. But right now we got our seedlings in here, and it's just because it's just a little too chilly outdoors for us. Plus we can kind of control the temperature in here a little bit better. It's a little bit warmer. We do actually have a fan back here, so airflow is really important, especially when you're seedlings. So we've got a fan kind of sucking air and blowing it around, but honestly, I would probably benefit from adding additional circulation back here, whether it's small fans or whatever. You do pay a little more for power or whatever, I guess, if you're at home, but it's gonna be helpful. So sometimes when you have issues with leggy seedlings, unhealthy little seedlings, it can have to do with a few things, and sometimes just having airflow can help correct that. Also, just the amount of light. If you don't have enough light to your plants, if they're over watering them early on, especially with your peppers, they do not like to have just soggy, they call it wet feet, but just soggy roots because it's too much water, not enough air. But you can see these ones we've been keeping lightly watered, and they're looking pretty happy. And so for us, good airflow, good amount of light, and good temperature inside your growing area, and usually your seedlings will have a good chance of success, which is what we love. Now I have one more area that I want to show you. I'll try not to move too quickly through the classroom, but yeah, look at that. A lot of house plants in here. We've been growing like crazy. But the last area where it's not an aquaponic system, but it's kind of a really basic setup. We usually use it for kind of supercharging some of our house plants to give them a little additional light to really speed up their growth and make them get a little bushier. You can see right here, this Hoya is just bursting out of its container, and it was pretty tiny not that long ago, and now we've already taken cuttings off it. But up here, we've got different grow lights here. These are from Philips, right? And we actually got some of these years ago. We paid for most of them, although they did hook it up with a few, which is very nice, very kind of them. And so here you can see some peppers, a little tomato back in there, and what's cool, you can see how really close these ones are, and it's these lights up here. They're just very mild in a way where if it was too far away, you might not get the intensity you need, but they can actually be fairly close. This is why I like using them for these stacked situations, because they don't put off a whole lot of heat. Actually, this is cold to the touch. I can hardly even feel any warmth coming out of there. But what's great is it's just you can stack them up really nice and low. Luckily, we've got some, like I said, more fans over here probably wouldn't hurt, but thankfully in my classroom, there's just a lot of airflow from the HVAC system kind of blowing stuff around. Usually you can see some of the branches moving. But with that said, like I would still recommend adding some additional fans in here. We used to have some, and just recently they kind of pooped out. So it's not time to maybe get a purchase order going and buy a few more, because they're not too expensive, and for the results they have on your plants, it's very, very beneficial. So down here you can see some of our tomatoes. Look how big our seedlings are right now. This is a pineapple tomato. Look how big that sucker is already. It's hard to even get my arm all the way there, but it's dang near a foot tall, although one of the limbs are broken. I'll have to pull that leaf off. And so for us, we're doing pretty good. You can see between the intensity of the light, these ones can be a bit further away. So depending upon your setup, it's important to do some experimentation, do some research on how intense your lights are, how close they can be. There's a lot of different lights out there, from really basic ones that you can get in pretty much anywhere at any home improvement store and get them plugged in and hung up. And like I said, just doing a little bit of practice and a little bit of research, you'll quickly figure out what a good distance is from your plants for maximum growth. Because too much light, too close, too intense, you might have burning or discoloration or deformed growth. But especially with these peppers and tomatoes and things, they're full sun plants, and they really require some really intense sunlight. And if you're not outside in the sun, and if you're somewhere where it's really cold and you're getting things started ahead of time, you may want to add some supplemental lighting, because it just really helps. These are all LED lights that we use in here. There's different varieties, but what's nice is they don't consume too much power compared to traditional light sources or other styles of lighting. And they don't put off a lot of excess heat. So less power consumption, less heat waste. And there's just a lot of options out there, different varieties and brands that you can explore that'll hopefully bring some opportunity to you and to your home growing. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at our setups. I appreciate you being here. If you've been stuck around this long, I thank you very much. Of course, hit that button, thumbs up, like, or dislike if you didn't like it. I'll take what I can get. But until next time, garden friends, please get outside, go play a little bit, and garden if you can. But we'll see you next time, garden friends.